All right, let's start with Agbogbloshie. Well, this afternoon, a disarmament program is underway at that place, and police and military personnel are on the ground. They're searching for illegal weapons in various locations to prevent fighting in the Agbogbloshie area in the future. Already, a local weapon manufacturer has been picked up. Let's go live there now and guess the latest on this. Favor Nunu is there for us. Hello, Favor. Favor, can you hear me?
I can hear you, Gifty.
Fantastic. Now, how's the search for weapons going?
This afternoon, the Ghana Police Service, COP Teteyonu, actually came through here with a team that they have deployed down here. The number of security personnel has been increased, but also a new Maverick has been deployed on the ground. And what we understand is that this Maverick is a police equipment. It's a driving, or it's a vehicle, I should say, that has equipment in there that's used to monitor or gather intelligence. And we're told that they're deploying some of these things on the ground to assist in determining where illegal weapons may have been hidden within the Tokumbo market and the Agbogbloshie area. That is really what's been happening this afternoon. One thing that he points out, though, is that the approach to retrieving these illegal arms would not be by force or would not be by any physical entry and retrieval. They are going to deploy intelligence first, and the intelligence would then locate where exactly to identify these weapons, and then now the retrieval can happen. So we're not sure as to what they have been able to lay their hands on by way of information, but we know that they're saying the intelligence work is ongoing, and they are picking a lot of information that can assist them to retrieve these weapons, these high-powered weapons that were used in last Tuesday's attack.
Favor, we understand there was supposed to be a press conference on this disarmament drive. Can you tell us anything about that?
There's a press conference indeed, not directly related to the disarmament, but it has to do with Kokumbus and the Bugri Nabu delegation that came through. Earlier on, there's been a press conference or a press briefing that was led by the NPP regional chairman. He came down south to Accra following the news, and he's been engaging with the leaders here in the Kokumba market. He tells us he condemns the act. He's actually explained to them to use communication and dialogue to sort out their differences rather than resorting to the use of weapons. So he has been speaking to the press about it. One thing that came out also is that Bugri Nabu totally rejects the calls by the IGP for market and the Kokumba areas to be removed or cleared.
Hold on, Favor. I lost you briefly, so if you could just make that point again for me. You said that Bugri Nabu was not happy with what?
Indeed, like I said earlier, Bugri Nabu has expressed satisfaction over the calls by the IGP that possible removal of the Kokumba area completely because of the crimes and then the negative issues that are embedded within here. So that call for Kokumba to be removed completely and the market probably relocated as put forward by the IGP, Bugri Nabu is totally against it. He's totally against that and says, where are they moving them to? Indeed, he argues that when you move them to any other place like Kakwa, these persons who fomented violence earlier, whoever they are, would still follow to the new market area if it has been created or to the new settlement. He rather charges the IGP to take responsibility, to deploy whatever security systems that they have and ensure that they maintain peace, and also identify those behind the attacks, those behind the clashes, those behind the experience within the peace, so that peace can return here, rather than call for an absolute removal of the place. That's his position.
What were there other security men present at this press conference, and what else have they been saying, if they were?
So the delegation was a high-powered northern delegation made of Dagombas and Kumbas. But what they put out there is that they are together. They are safe, united, and so they're disappointed at the way in which the media has probably carried out information. They feel that this issue should not be ethnicized. They think the clashes or the attacks were disagreement between market people regarding certain issues that can be sorted out. And so the media should probably not caption the news as clashes between these two ethnic factions, the Kokumbes and then the Dagumbes. So that has been something that he's been talking about. He maintains that the reason for raising this concern is that in the northern part of Ghana, there has been some tensions also following the news, so that a few other persons who are either Kokumbes are tensed up about this and may end up attacking each other because they feel there is a general warfare between these two groups. And so the media should be skeptical about how we
report the matter.
This story.
Let's go back to the issue about Bugri Nabu's position and his disagreement, of course, with the IGP. Were there any responses to this position?
Do come again with your question.
I'm saying that let's go back to Bugri Nabu's disagreement with the point that the IGP made about relocating the people there. Were there any responses to that disagreement?
Well, for the residents, they were very excited. At the time that he did mention that moved them to where, they did clap and they cheered him up. And that was to show that they approved of his position, that they should. And when you speak to the ordinary traders here who engage in the sale of it, they will tell you that, well, if you're going to remove the Tokumba yam market, is the IDP going to ensure of the Mokala number 2 also, and other markets that are close by? If that is going to happen, then you're fine with it. But you cannot single out the Tokumba yam market and say you're relocating it. That is not something that will go down with them. And so the IGP should revise its note and find a better strategy at dealing with the mayhem within this space, rather than calling for a very general approach, which is to remove them completely from this area.
Right. Favor, yesterday I was there as well, and I felt that there was tension, and it was almost tangible. What can you say about the situation as we speak? I'm sorry,
I lost you briefly.
Yes, I'm just asking about the mood there as we speak right now. We know that the tensions have been very high up there. As we speak, how is it like?
I would say that things are settling down quite well. I wouldn't think that the tension is down 50, but things have settled down quite well. An impressive one, though, is that business activity has returned to normal. Today, you can see people going to the Tokumba gate and then selling. Traders have actually displayed their wares, unlike yesterday where everyone had packed their wares and hidden it in their or covered it with some material. There was no activity. People are buying. You can find carrying sheepers of yam in park. There are trucks that are being moved in and out. The gate itself is open. Unlike yesterday, the military blocked the road with one of their pickups, and the number of it also within the main road. And so traffic was being controlled by the military. But today, the military is only stationed on the two ends of the post, which entered into the market. And so there's one policeman who I'm actually stationed by now, and there's another at the other side of the gate, which is a pillar over, and that's all they are doing. The car that was in the middle of the road blocking traffic or probably checking people before they make entry or exit has been removed. And so there's that interesting movement. Everyone is just fine. People are selling. So the mood is quite better today. But a few reports here and there that someone claims to have been beaten or attacked by people and all that. Bits and pieces of those reports that come through. Not as violent as it used to be when this whole case came up.
Favor, yesterday I spoke with a couple of people who said that they think that relocating these people is the right thing. Not necessarily moving them, but making sure that the place remains a trade center rather than a habitation place for these people who live there. Did you come by those people who share in the views, so to speak, of the IGP?
Well, the previous days when the tensions were high, there are people who felt like there should be relocation, and I haven't cited any of them today, but yesterday, for example, when I was here, there are two people who are also residents, and they will tell you we actually engage in our trading activities. This is where we make our daily bread from.
Yeah. All right.
Which are actually high. We would support for this place to be moved elsewhere if that would solve the situation, rather than allowing for death and unnecessary attacks to occur. So there are a few people who are for it, but that is all a matter that has to be discussed. The IGP and the leadership within this place may have to sit down and come to a proper consensus. But there are those who are for it, there are others who are against it.
Okay, thank you so much, Favor. Favor Nunu is my colleague there, and he is being at the Agbogbloshie market where the issue happened right from the beginning, and he's bringing us updates on that. We understand that this disarmament program is ongoing, that the police has a vehicle and then they drive through the town and they're able to detect those who have illegal weapons, and they're taking those weapons out of the wrong hands in which they find themselves. Well, let's move on now with that particular story, but we're still staying with it. Now, the plan to disarm the feuding factions in that place is just one step towards preventing a recurrence of any conflicts there. Well, yesterday, the IGP, David Asante-Apietu, proposed the total removal of the settlement as a long-term solution, and you heard Favor refer to that, and the fact that Bugri Nabu, who has just visited the place, is not particularly happy. He does not agree with what the IGP says. We'll have some analysis on this shortly. But first, let's refresh your memory on the IGP statement. Okay, so please.
Regarding the Agbogbloshie area, and perhaps you have never been there before. Apart from a narrow lane that goes through, all other alleys, sometimes you have to move sideways in order to pass through. And the terrain is such that it has prompted different administrations to relocate them. I understand a market was built, in a suburb outside the city for them, but they have not relocated. In fact, when they were even given money to go, they quickly returned, I think the same day. It is not very easy at all to gather the intelligence that we may require. We are aware that some crimes are being committed in there, and it's such a difficult terrain. I was there today myself, and I saw it. And the regional commander and the Director General CID will attest to that. So one major solution to this is for us to ensure that the people are relocated. With intelligence, yes, you may gather, but 100% you're unable to achieve. So these are some of the lapses in intelligence gathering that we occasionally do encounter. The patrol team that were there, and there's always a patrol team. It's not only for yesterday, but we have always put a patrol team over there. But the patrol team that is located there, whatever happens in some of the, like referred to as the epicenter, may be on your blind side. They suddenly heard what was going on. It wasn't that they were patrolling right in the middle of the suburb. I mean, it is a place that you cannot patrol, apart from walking through the lanes, and it is a very dangerous thing as well. The response by the police was organized by the regional commander, and I would like him to give a brief account of what happened. Come, stop.
Thank you, IG. Thank you. You see, it's not easy applying force in every situation. We tactically decided that we should wait for certain issues to be tackled while they were talking, they were making noise, We call the leaders. The leaders. We have 16 tribes at Agbogbloshie, 16, and they all have leaders. So we engage them that they should talk to their people to stop the atrocities they are committed. That is the effective way to deal with the situation than to go there and effect arrest. That would not have been a good measure. Secondly, we have police station there. We have police station at Ovadama. We gather intelligence, we read the situation. 1.5 months ago, just 3 weeks after taking over the regional administration of the police.
So you heard the IGP. His words are very clear, and he's clear in his mind exactly what he's talking about. On the telephone line with me is Jones Aple. He is with the Small Arms Commission. In the studio with me is Abdullah Al-Hassan, who has worked and lived in Agbogbloshie area and also Secretary of the Slum Union of Ghana. You're welcome, Abdullah.
Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Aple, if you can hear me, you're welcome to the show as well. I've lost him there. We'll try and raise him back. Let's just start off the discussion with Abdullah here in the studio. Abdullah, you've lived in this community. You understand the issue very well. The issue about the political underpinnings, the issue about ethnicity, etc. What do you make of what's happening right now?
In the first place, I think basically the issue has nothing to do with ethnicity.
Okay.
It's more of political and struggle for control of very limited resources in an informal settlement.
Okay, just a quick interruption there. Mr. Aple is on the line now. Let me acknowledge you so that we can have the discussion among us. Sir, thank you very much for your time here on the Pulse.
Thank you. Good afternoon. You and your listeners.
Okay, so we're having this conversation about what's happening in Agbogbloshie. I've already started engaging the Secretary of the Slum Union of Ghana. Let him wrap up with the point that he was making, and then I'll come to you with my very first question. You think that this is more of politics than ethnicity?
Yes, it's purely politics. And I say it's purely politics because it has some national political underpin, like that is NDC and PP politics. And it also has some struggle over who controls the community, as to who is the leader or who is recognized as
in charge of the economy.
In charge of the economy of the local economy of the area. And this is all politics. It has nothing to do with ethnicity.
Why do you say so?
I say so because this thing didn't start today. And it didn't start with the Concomba people. It actually started among the Dagombas, we ourselves. And it's basically...
So you are a Dagomba, just
yes, I am. I'm a Dagomba.
And the Union of Slum, the Slum
Union
Union
of Slum Union actually is, have members in all slums in Accra and across the country.
Okay.
We have Concombas as our executive members, and we have Dagombas as our executive members.
I see.
And even in our union, like, there have never been an issue of ethnicity. I must be clear that even in Agbogbloshie, I don't remember, I lived there from 2005 to 2015. I don't remember any...
That's 10 years.
Yes, any serious issue that had to do with ethnicity. It always have to do with politics.
Since we have the Small Arms Commission on the line, let's talk about how guns and other ammunitions get to the community. What can you say about that?
So with regards to guns and other ammunitions, it's very, I say complex. It's very complex because I've lived there, like I said, for a long time, and I have never seen a local resident having a gun. But then I've heard a lot of rumors of people having guns, AK-47 and all that, but I've never...
The way you say it's that it's a rumor. And when I went there yesterday, how people talked about it, I had very young people talking about it. It baffles me that you lived there for 10 years and you didn't see it.
Yes, that is honestly, that is a fact. Somebody who has like vowed to me that he has seen a gun was just in the last few months, I think in January.
I see.
And now they already are no longer left there at that time. So I'm talking about the time I lived there.
Lived there.
I've never, even though those days I heard these rumors of people having guns.
Where did they get them from?
They claim they buy them from, some people even claim they buy them from security personnel. But I've never seen one, and it's difficult for me to actually vouch for one.
Since you say that the issue is more political than ethnical, to what extent have you heard about the fact that politicians are bringing these arms to the people who live there?
Well, that's, again, I would say it's a rumor that I heard in January this year.
This year.
When political hands changed in the country, people started spreading rumors that NPP supporters are bringing in guns to retaliate what happened in 2009.
Okay.
This, I would say again, was a rumor. I didn't see anything. You didn't
see for yourself?
I went there, I met several people, like, in an attempt to, like, prevent all of these things escalating to this level. I went there with several other members of the Islamic Union of Ghana. But we've never seen guns as it's being talked about. It could be true, but I've not seen some.
That's interesting. Mr. Player, you've heard him and you've heard what he has to say. Let's start with the statistics available of arms in wrong hands.
Well, according to a study that we asked the Ghana Peacekeeping Training Center to conduct for us somewhere last, I think the study was completed somewhere last year. They estimated that we have about 1.1 million weapons. 1.1 million.
1.1 million
in illicit hands.
I see. And
Yeah.
do you have an idea the areas where these are likely to be found?
I think they gave us a breakdown. Unfortunately, I'm not in the office, so
Okay.
they gave a breakdown of where these weapons are. I think the northern region is the one with the highest number of illicit weapons in the country, according to the study. But I heard the resource person, for want of a better description, saying that he thinks that this matter is more of a political issue than ethnic.
Yes.
From where we sit, we rather say more of an ethnic and economic cleavage. That people are using politics as a vehicle to achieve their objective. And so people have economic issues. As you very rightly said, in 2009, something happened. Some people, after the change of power, where they are shocked and where they undertake their economic activities, were taken from them, and nothing seems to have happened. You understand? And so in 2016, when there was another change of power, they always thought that if we do politics, they attack their ton of flesh. That it happened to them in 2009. So that is the way we see it.
Okay.
We see it more of an economic and ethnic issue. And you know, most of these things are also, they sort of champion these causes using the ethnic issue. And so you hear about the Gomba, you hear of the Sokoba groupings, etc., against each other. And so we rather, from where we sit from the Small Arms Commission, from our analysis, we see it more of economic and ethnic issues that people are using the vehicle of politics.
To drive.
Yes. That's all. So we don't rather see it as political issue.
Since we know.
We are happy and we are gratified and happy that the government is also not treating it as a political issue. They are treating it purely as a for want of a better, as a criminal issue. And so they ask that the matter should be investigated, and then anybody that is found, they'll put you before court and prosecute you. And I think that is the way to go. But what we need to do always as a country is the need to restore confidence in the state's ability to provide, I think, one of the most basic, essential needs, security for our people. And so for me, I am happy that the government is not treating it as an ethnic issue or as a political issue. Because the moment you introduce politics into any program, it becomes unsolvable.
But we cannot deny the fact that the undertone the political
No,
undertone is
they are
there,
political.
and that it will be a part of the solution to the problem.
Absolutely, absolutely. But I'm saying that the ethnic tensions are there.
All right.
Yeah? The economic issues are there. You have come to take my shop in 2009. You pushed me out in the name using the vehicle for politics and political change. Of course, if there's a change in the government that I perceive to be favorable to make us power, I will also use that same politics to come and flash you out. So politics is just a means that they are using to settle an ethnic and economic core. But the issue is about survival. It's about what to eat. Am I not lying? The Agbogbloshie issue is about survival. It's about bread and butter. It's about what to eat. And they are using politics to achieve that. So for me, it's about settling, finding a way of, introducing some kind of building and some complex mechanism into the area as a long-term issue. Because Mahatma Gandhi says that, look, an eye for an eye, everybody gets blind. So tit for tat doesn't pay anywhere. And that is what must be preached, or that is what must be, that's the message that must be taken to the people in that.
Let's look at the availability of arms to these people. People were killed. One of them is a pregnant woman. If the people did not have the arms, perhaps they couldn't have been able to carry out these criminal activities easily. So let's look at, so my question, sir, is to look at Agbogbloshie. Since this is not a peculiar case, this is something that we've seen before. What is the concentration of arms in Agbogbloshie? I mean, any estimation?
Oh, that is all. I mean, that is all. That will also be a very important answer.
It will be what? Please say that again.
That will always be a very important answer.
Okay.
You never will know what is in the underworld. You understand? Some of these things that are, whether you are talking about narcotics, whether you are talking about human trafficking, etc., the best you can do is to have an estimate of a rough idea. But I'm saying that you have raised a very important point, that this is not a matter that is just popping up. And so one of the things that we would have expected, that look, if this matter came up during 2008, 2009 change of government, you expect that we would have had our ears on the ground after the change of government.
Exactly.
You understand? So for me, that is one of the things that I believe, I know our police will have.
But the commission has not done that.
No, the commission has not done that.
Isn't that a failure on the part of the commission?
No, the commission, we have a proper intelligence institution. We have the PMI that are constantly gathering intelligence on things like that. You understand? And so I'm happy that now the focus has been placed on Agbogbloshie as it were. And government has given a signal that they want to clean up the area and collect illicit weapons in people's hands. I mean that is the best move that you can have in the short to medium term. The area ought to be cleaned first. And for me, the suggestion of IGP that the people, the areas
relocation.
Yeah, the relocation. Yes, I agree that the people should be relocated, but I wouldn't want the situation where we relocate them in blocks, like we were trying to do. You understand? Because then if you do that, you're transferring the process of America.
So what do you suggest is the best way?
Look, government should find a way of relocating them, probably in bits and pieces. But you don't want a situation where you take them and block the places. If you do that, then for me, my worry is that it's about more like transferring the problem to another area. You understand? But the call for the
problem will still be there.
To clean the area of weapons is the right call, and it's a very acceptable strategy in dealing with some of these matters in Brazil, in Jamaica, etc. That is the strategy that is deployed to clean some of these favelas and some of these plants of weapons. So it is a step in the right direction.
But not the way he's suggesting that it be done. Let me just hold you on a little while and take the thought of Abdullah on that suggestion by the IGP. The IGP is proposing that people there should be moved, and of course I've spoken to some of the people there, and they say people who are Gans, like, you know, it's a Gan land, so
yeah.
people who are Gans who live there, like original residents of the place, say yes, let's move them. I mean, not to move them away completely, because this is a trade center, you can come and do your trade here, but let's move them outside, look for accommodation elsewhere. You come and do business and then you go away.
Yeah, so I think relocation, we've talked about it for a long time.
Yes.
It's a solution to another problem, but not to the conflict.
Really?
Yes, the conflict, relocation cannot be a solution to the conflict.
Even with the suggestion that Mr. Aple just made, that we can do that in batches, that you don't do it at a go.
Yes, that can
it
still
doesn't
not,
matter.
Yes, because there's a situation, they all work there, they have the market there. So if maybe I'm sent to Kaswa, another person is sent to Tema, the next morning we come to work in Agbogbloshie, we meet. If we want to fight, we can fight. So that cannot be, relocation cannot be the solution. The solution actually should be to tackle the root cause, and that is the political problems, that the political culture we have built there, that when NDC is in power, NPP members should be removed from there and their properties taken. And when NPP is power, NPP members should be removed from there and their properties taken. That political culture should be dealt with once and for all. And if that is dealt with, there will be no
problem
conflict.
will be solved. Let me engage you, sir, briefly before I let you go, so that we can wrap up on dealing with the arms itself. He's talking about dealing with the problem from the political perspective, because he believes that therein lies the solution, the lasting solution to this problem. The problem of politics is linked to the availability of arms to the people. In that case, how does the commission come in? And how can you come in effectively to solve the problem?
This is something that we've heard, an allegation we've heard that the politicians are behind the sophisticated weapons that most of these groups are holding. But it is not, we don't have any concrete evidence to support that kind of thing. And for me, the reason why I don't want us to take this matter to the political level is that we have other groupings, we have other tribes also, having political leaders. Why is it that it doesn't lead to the kind of killing that we see in the Fona Kokoma and then the Dabomba? I'm a gun. We also have our own needs. We also have, but it doesn't lead to that kind of killings that we see.
But has the commission investigated? You say this is an allegation. The fact that the talk that politicians provide. But we, as
I said last year, we just did the whole research on what is fueling proliferation in Ghana, and none of the findings pointed to the fact that politicians arm this group.
Did you take Agbogbloshie?
What rather the study details is that due to our porous border and the numerous conflicts around us and the numerous routes into Ghana, where weapons come into this
easily.
Most of these are border communities. The research did not indicate. So I'm saying that we just completed a research last year. And so we don't have any concrete evidence to support what he's saying at the moment.
But have you, or would you consider Agbogbloshie or Old Fadama as a special case and work on that?
You see, the committee is a conflict prevention institution. When there's a full-blown, conflict like you are seeing, it's law enforcement.
Okay.
You understand? So what a commission can do, in collaboration with any civil society organization that we pay, Peace Council, IDEC, ONEF, etc., is to go into Agbogbloshie after the place has been cleaned up. That is, if government chooses to even leave them there.
Okay.
If government decides to leave them there, is to go in and try, as it were, inculcate some kind of peaceful coexistence and inclusive way of living, so that they can cohabit together, etc. Those are the things that we can go and try and portray to them the needlessness of resorting to arms at the slightest provocation.
Okay.
Because what the information we got, which I saw, is that this whole conflict arose as a result of some issue of a mobile phone.
Over a theft of mobile phone and a cylinder, I understand.
Yes. And then you end up losing life.
Okay.
And so people think that you can resolve differences or conflicts using guns.
Okay.
It doesn't work anywhere. Look, any society where there are any society that is awash with weapons, you see high levels of needless death and, high levels of armed violence, robberies, etc. So for us, after everything is cleaned up and everything is done, we will go in and have an engagement with the people.
Okay.
And see where we can take the no, this thing happened in other jurisdictions, and the end result is that nobody won. And so if that is the way you want to go.
Okay. Thank you very much for your time. I've been speaking with of the on their role, the Commission's role in helping solve the situation, that's the problem that's happening in Agbogbloshie. I have still in the studio with me Abdul Al-Hassan, Secretary for the Slum Union of Ghana. I would like for you to listen to what the gentleman you said the problem, but you take a listen to him. So this gentleman, I met him yesterday. His name is Ni Oshu Kwansa, and this is what he had to say.
From here to the Jubilee House, where the president was, it's about less than 10 minutes drive, if our roads are properly. So we beg everyone, first of all, we are praying to our regional minister and the mayor of Accra. They should come with their numbers to come and do something for us, because Korle Agbo is one of the biggest river in Accra here. Everybody have right. Every Ghanaian have right to come to Accra and work. Yes. Every Ghanaian, each and every Ghanaian have
that's
right.
why they are here.
They should go and hire rooms, rent rooms. So if they rent room around Accra, they can come here morning to come and do their work. Even they go back to their houses.
Do you think that is something that is possible in this place?
It's supposed to be possible. It's supposed to be possible, because this place is a trade center.
Yeah, it's a marketplace.
This place is a trade center. It's supposed to be a trade center.
Okay. So you want them to move away from here?
They should move away from here. From here to their where. We like them to do.
I see. If that doesn't happen, what do you think will happen?
Then our chief supposed to wake. Our chief supposed to wake up to come with their numbers to sack them, because we are in peace country. In Accra, guns are not fighting. We have plenty chieftaincy disputes in Ghana here, Accra here, but we didn't fight. Have you seen we are fighting playing guns glass police before? Yesterday, if you were here, you see what happened. You saw rather with your naked eyes what happened here. So we beg, we pray to our president, regional minister, and the mayor.
Okay.
To come forward.
Okay. Thank you very much. He's asking that they're calling on the regional minister and the Accra mayor to come in and deal with this situation. Never mind his grandma, it's okay. You've heard him. He does make a very salient point, wouldn't you say? He says this place is a market. It is a trade center. Come and do your business here, but do not stay here. If you're doing business, then there won't be any rooms to take over when a government changes. If there is you're just doing business, there won't be perhaps toilets and bathrooms to fight over, would they?
I think I think his point is born from misinformation. I agree that the place is a market, but also there's a settlement there.
Yeah, but his point is on the premise that this settlement shouldn't have been allowed in the first place.
Yes, but it was allowed. So since it was allowed, there is a settlement there. And so if you say that, it looks like it was just a market, and then people come and sleep in the market. But in fact, there's a market there, and also there's a settlement there, and that settlement is recognized as a settlement in Ghana. So if we are talking about relocating the settlement, then that's another topic. But if you say people should go and rent rooms and come back and work, that's a settlement there. People live there since in the 80s.
That's the bigger problem that we've been trying to deal with in this country and have not been able to. But some of the people also tell me that there are two parts of the area. There's the part where there's a settlement and people, women and children, everybody's doing their work. Everybody's going about their business peacefully. But then there's also a part where people take advantage of the way the place is to perpetrate all kinds of criminal activities and to engage in violence. They say people are killed and thrown into the Kole Lagoon all the time.
That is an outrageous. I told you I lived there for 10 years, and I can tell you that there is no one location that you can point to and say, well, this particular location is a location that is made up of people doing bad things. The whole community is one. There's a market where they sell yams. There's a market where they sell onions. There's a market where they sell other things. I didn't hear this
from one person. I didn't hear the fact that there are two parts of the place from one person. More than one person told me that.
And I have to tell you that many rumors doesn't, like a repetition of rumor doesn't make it true.
I see.
And I'm telling you that I live there, and I no longer live there. There is no reason why I will lie. Like if I know that there's a place there that people are doing this kind of criminal thing. There's a police station there actually. And there are many like people who live there and they are working for the government, like, and when they see something negative, they will be very happy to go and report to the police. So I don't think it's a fact. It's just a rumor. In fact, normally that rumor, people hear it and then they move to the community and it surprises them. Seriously, it's not true. It's not.
Well,
I'm not saying that everybody.
You would have journalists tell you that getting into the community to even do a story, it's a whole different ball game. And sometimes you need people to lead you. Why is it that there's so much
This is because
fear?
This is because the community is right in the middle of Accra, but people of Accra are living far away from the community. And with time, because like people report very wrong, like kind of wrong news about the area, and which is most of the time very derogatory. So with time, the people see the media as enemies. So one of the things we tried to do was to kind of let the enemies. I'm ready.
Will be the solution, the long-lasting, a long-lasting solution to this problem that is so sickening?
I think the long-lasting solution would be for the politicians who are behind these youth groups to come down to the community. They should come together, the NDC and the MPP. So they should, like today I learned politicians went there, but I know it's one-side politicians. The Northern Regional Chairman of MPP is going there. It should have been with the Northern Regional Chairman of NDC and some other executives of both political parties. They should sit, the youth groups of both NDC and the MPP, that they are here to solve their, because they already have a deep-seated problem. So they should try to solve these problems once and for all. And I think this will solve it.
I hope so. I hope so. Thank you so much for passing through the studio. Abdallah Al-Hassan is Secretary for the Slum Union of Ghana, sharing his thoughts on what's happening. He has lived there for 10 years, and he's saying that the problems are deep-seated. We know that for sure. The solution is the problem now. We understand that the NPP Northern Regional Chairman is about to hold a press conference there. We'll be there to bring you live coverage of that as well. You're still watching The Pulse.